For those who don't know me well, I am the daughter of two writers, so I sort of have it in my blood. It's sort of the family business, which is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Professionally, I came up through the ranks as a newspaper reporter, a feature writer, column writer, but I discovered books, and books are my real love in life. I should say, and this looks like I'm 80 years old, but just I'm really short, and even in heels, I can't get my handwriting well. So my company is rightdirections.com. I founded it about 13 years ago, and it was a way to sort of gift forward the knowledge that I had accumulated over the years through my various writing experiences. I'm evolving. My website is changing. I'm telling you this because if you would go there now, it's not going to be that way in another few weeks. And I'm also going to launch, beginning of next year, the Right Directions Institute. And it's going to have lots of different kinds of writing classes, and that's why you have this little form. If you would just rate these, this way I know what should go in the queue and in what order. So my idea is to give people structured learning and progression, not necessarily to discover who they are as a writer, but really to get projects out of the door. That's my goal. Hello. We're going to give you one of the, oh, there, you can take that. Oh, no problem, no problem. So keep your eye out for that, and you'll learn more about it. This is the first book I ever wrote. It was for the Adolph Coors Company, and it was one of these things that I just stumbled into. I was in graduate school. I had just had my first daughter. I was really, really poor, and my dean took pity on me. And somebody at Coors needed a book written about cans, and she asked me if I would write it. I had absolutely no interest, but it was Coors, which meant there was money, and I was really poor. I was at the University of Colorado in Boulder, and Coors was just down the road in Golden. So it turned out to be an incredible, incredible project, and the scoop behind this was Coors was one of the real leading forces in the development of the recyclable can, aluminum can. They really, along with Reynolds, pretty much invented the industry. And all of the people in the 50s and early 60s who had worked on the project were literally dying off, and they wanted to grab their stories and put it together into something they didn't know what. And even though I didn't know about books, I wrote a book. And I was initially supposed to just interview about 10 people or so, and by the time I was done, I interviewed probably about 50 people, including the president of the company, Bill Coors, because this was his baby idea. But this was my first book. It's a collector's item now. I just got an email last week from a metallurgist who was trying to get a copy, and there really are none around except in libraries. But what I didn't know then that I know now is that I was actually writing a book for a business to promote a business. So even though they were using it to capture people's stories, there was a promotional value in that. And somehow intuitively I understood that. And so I turned it into a book that also included the history of can making and how you can go back to the Napoleonic era, and then the history of Coors, Adolph Coors coming over from Germany. And I got to, because they had a really good budget, I got to get original pictures and all sorts of things through Getty Images and Library of Congress. And you graphic designers will appreciate this. I got to do it in 6-color, I guess with spot color, silver. So I could do what I wanted, and I hired, I had no idea how to do this, so I hired a graphic designer. And so from my very first book, I got to manage a project, and that just really got me thinking about how books can promote a business. So we're going to talk about traditional publishing and self-publishing. I'm going to tell you my bias absolutely up front, and it's here. I think this day and age, particularly if you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, don't even go near here. Okay, so I'm just telling you, that's my bias. I'll walk you through what this means, and then I'll tell you why I feel that way. So there are 5 things that we're going to touch on today. The first is, why write a book? Because that's a really important question. It's not something that you do overnight, so it's going to take I put skill at the bottom of the list of things that you need, and I don't say that in any kind of flippant way. Skill is really kind of at the bottom. You don't have to write a great book. There's something about a book when it gets into print that transforms it, that makes it just read better and sound better. And a lot of times books serve a different purpose. They don't have to be a great read. So skill is kind of at the bottom, but there are reasons why we need to know why we're writing it, and we'll talk about that in a second. What is a book? I think it's really important to expand your notion of what a book is because it gets you that much closer to publishing one. We'll talk about that. Book publishing, traditional versus self-publishing, and this is where I think I really get you on my side. How to recycle your book, all the different ways that you can do it. And I know when I work, when I mentor people, coach people, help people get their books out the door, I do a lot of project management and I do a lot of ghostwriting. I never just look at the book. We have to be able to recycle it in X number of ways. It's really a waste. It's kind of like getting an outfit, a suit, and not mix and matching it. It really is a waste. And then we're going to come back to this, why write a book, okay? Because it's really important that we come full circle. So let's get some feedback here, some people giving some ideas of why write a book, why do such a thing to yourself. What else comes to mind?
Passion about an idea.
Okay, so passion about an idea. Self-expression. Okay. Now, I'm going to say, let's change it a little bit. Self-expression is fine, but write a book to build your business. Okay? So let's do it that way. Okay, what's that?
Tell a story.
Tell a story. How would that relate to your business?
It's promoting your business.
Okay. So let me use the word promote.
Yeah, promote your business.
Okay.